First of all, Africa is not a poor continent. It's not. It is a continent that has many, many resources. Moreover, rare earth, metals, raw materials, 50% of arable lands. We're not taking care of that. And Africa today is victim of many external spoilers that work against its stability. It is something that can be used against us.
Welcome to Wake Up Black. Educate and enlighten.
Next year, Italy will take the leadership in the G7. What are you expecting? What do you want to see from the other members?
Well, there is a work that we began in the G7 in Japan that, in my opinion, is very important, about supply chains, about the mistakes that we did about globalization. I mean, we thought that free commerce without rules could solve our problems, could distribute richness, and could democratize systems that were less democratic than ours. Didn't happen. And the second thing that happened was that systems that were not democratic involved on the institutional side and gained space in the world. Now they are stronger and we are more weak, for we don't control our supply chains. So what we have to do is rethink these times, understand that on strategic things we cannot leave things go. And where, in my opinion, we weren't enough concentrated was Africa. I say it for I'm the direct neighbor, but first of all, Africa is not a poor continent. It's not. It is a continent that has many, many resources. Moreover, rare earth, metals, raw materials, 50% of arable lands. We're not taking care of that. And Africa today is victim of many external spoilers that work against its stability. It is something that can be used against us.
And with regard to Africa, the issue of China comes up.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you about that. Is China dominating or trying to dominate the continent and scooping up some of those raw materials and metals that you mentioned that are so critical to technology?
Absolutely, China has an important presence at the time in Africa. And well, I think it's normal that everyone tries to defend its national interests. The problem is if we are able to do that. I mean, what I don't really agree with is the approach that sometimes the West world had with these countries. For the idea I have is that we are always ready to give advices, but not so ready to give a hand. They don't trust us a lot. And I cannot say that they are completely wrong. That's why my opinion is that we have to change this approach. What I want to do is to bring investments in Africa. Bring investments not only to say we want to help. No, that's not geopolitics. If you want to do serious things, you have to do things that are useful for both. For example, now we have a problem in Europe about energy sources after the war. But Africa is potentially an enormous producer of energy, of every kind of energy, green energy, hydrogen, geothermic, they've got gas, they've got everything. So if we help them taking out and producing this energy, and we tie them with Europe, we will solve many problems together.
Let me ask you about immigration, because you have talked about 1,000 illegal immigrants coming in every day. Are they coming from Northern Africa? How are you dealing with this?
They are coming at the time, moreover, from Tunisia and from Libya. There are two difficult situations. Libya, we know. Tunisia, is a nation that is risking financial default. There was a deal open with the IMF that was not so easy to close, also for the approach of the two interlocutors. But we've been beginning dealing with the president of Tunisia and some others. They come from Asia, for example, passing by Africa to come illegally to Italy. It's not something that we can manage only on the security side, but we have to fight the traffickers. What the traffickers are doing is incredible. I mean, this organization, they are becoming always more powerful. And they use their power and the money they do also against the state. We cannot allow mafia to decide who's coming to our countries.